most foreigners are very evil. Not all of them, but most of them. Especially people from your country. The English people came to Tanzania and took almost everything from us. They killed our great-great-grandfathers. They took our land.
Resources.
Yes, they even took the corpses of some of the people who were here. So when Tanzanians remember about that, that's why they don't want foreigners to come back here and own our land. That's just one of the reasons. I'm sure there are a lot more reasons. So we are afraid, like, foreigners can't own land here, but they have money, so they can. What if they buy all the country? You see what happened to Israel and Palestine?
Okay.
Yeah, we don't want that to happen in Tanzania right now.
Are you a foreigner?
No, I'm not a foreigner.
Okay, if you went to America and lived there for 30 years, would you be a foreigner?
I don't know the rules of America yet.
Would you feel a foreigner?
No, I would feel...
You would always feel Tanzanian, yeah. Even if you went to America for 30 years and worked, built up money, and then now you want to come back and retire in Tanzania with all your money, and they call you a foreigner, and they call you evil, and they're going to say you're going to kill our like you killed our ancestors. You say, well, you got the wrong people. You got the wrong people. I'm Tanzanian. Those are the people I'm talking about. I'm not talking about white people getting passports, Chinese people getting passports. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about you. I'm talking about the listeners here. Black Tanzanian people being stripped of their citizenship because they take another passport, and then want to come back and invest all their money here, saying, no, you're a foreigner. You're evil.
So your point is that should be just for the black Tanzanians. My fight is... No, my fight... That's why I don't even like calling it Uriah Pacha or dual citizenship, because everyone immediately goes to white people and Chinese people, I disagree with that. Especially, I know Tanzanians very well. Let's go really slowly on this. All I'm wanting is that Tanzanians don't have their citizenship stripped away from them. I believe that nobody should have a citizenship taken away from them unless they rescind it themselves. That is a belief. Okay? It's definitely not about issuing news. I've not once in my life said issue a new citizenship. I have not asked for citizenship. I'm just saying my children had Tanzanian citizenship. Now they've been it's been ripped away from them without them doing or saying anything. So here's the problem with foreigners being evil, right? White people being evil. I get comments online, only online. They killed us like chickens.
Yes, right. But I didn't kill you like chickens. Okay? Just because
your grandfathers did.
My grandfathers did it, And so well, in my grandfather's not my grandfather, people that look like me, my ancestors, people that look like me. So if I get robbed by a black person, a black man, okay, do I come to you and say you robbed me? Your ancestors robbed me. Your relatives robbed me. No, because if you say, look, I just look the same. If you get a very bad experience with someone with blue eyes, do you come to me and say, I don't like you guys with blue eyes?
I'll be cautious, though.
You would be cautious. Well, I'm afraid that is racism, right? It's prejudice. You're putting me in a group of people just because I look like them, without looking at the content of my character. And I'm quoting Martin Luther King here, okay? People should be judged on the content of their character. So I have a problem when people say, you white people are racists, because that is a racist statement. You're putting me in a group of people that I look like, and you're saying you act this way because you look like this, okay? And this is a big point I have. I think it's time to move on from blaming white people in Africa. Okay, all across Africa, for example. Let me give you an example. There's better examples in other African countries. Zimbabwe. Okay, now I was born in Zimbabwe. Okay, and I have a colonial past in Zimbabwe that I'm not proud of at all. Right? But I was just born. There was no mistake. There was no fault in me being born. Okay? You looked at what your actions are. Okay? Now in Zimbabwe they have their national anthem, which is all about the war, the struggle for independence. They have this word ropa. I think it's a ropa. It's in blood. Imagine a national anthem that has lots of references to blood in it. That was 50 years ago. It's time to move on. You know, the British and the Germans fought World War, Okay? We've forgiven each other, It's over. We forgave each other years ago.
But you still owe them money for the destruction.
Who?
The nurses.
No, we don't. No, we don't. We've all been forgotten. What I'm saying is it's time to forget. Forgive and forget. Okay, maybe not forgive. It's really hard if my relatives and ancestors were murdered by anyone. But the point is they weren't murdered by white people. They were murdered by colonialists, right? They were murdered by white people who were murderers, right? Not me. I have never murdered anybody, right? And I resent the fact that someone could look at me differently just because of my colour, my beard. I mean, maybe I should shave the beard, right? That may help. But I just think it's time to move on and do business. I'm an entrepreneur, you're an entrepreneur, right? There's no way in a million years you would judge me on the colour of my skin or the colour of my eyes. In a million years, because you want money, you want business. You would do business with me because you're an entrepreneur. But there's a big section of society that is scared of the white people. Look, you can be scared or you can be apprehensive of the European governments. Right. The British government, they come and they give their aid, their foreign aid. Are we going to believe this is foreign aid? This is helpful. They're trying to help us. There's no such thing as a free lunch. Yes, that's the government. I'm apprehensive of governments as well. But some white dude's walking down the street and you say, well, you killed my grandfather. No, you I just look like this. This is very unfair. I got robbed by a black guy. I don't say you robbed me. Yeah. Move on from blaming whites. Move on, let's do business.
But for us to move on, we need to get a good closure. For us to forgive, they need to return and pay what they took from us. They need to
correct. But you're not talking about the whites, you're talking about the white government, you're talking about the British government. Yes, have a beef with the British government. Right, absolutely. Yeah, the Fuvu, yeah, the skull was taken by the German government. Yes, they should pay compensation.
Yes.
100% I agree with you.
They haven't paid him.
Right, and that's where you need you've got your government and you've got people to push. And I was actually in that campaign actually to go there, and I'm not in it anymore. But I agree with you. Mangi Meli's skull should be returned and millions of dollars. Yeah, but that's not against white people. Your case isn't against white people in general. It's against the German government for what they did. What's it called? When they give money back?
Repossession.
No, not repossession. It's called repercussions. Repercussions need to be paid. But the fact is, a white guy can be walking down the street and you say, you're a racist. But you'd be being racist by telling me to call me a racist.
You travel a lot.
Yes.
You said since we last met, you have gone to 30 more countries.
Uh-huh.
Why do you love traveling that much?
I don't know, actually. I don't know. I just know I am a traveller. I've just come back from Central and South America. 11 countries there, to some of the most beautiful women. So I have a theory on colonial policy, the way that the different colonial powers had different policies. If you look at the British with their colonies, you'll see that they love to live separately, steal the resources, but they love to live on their own. So if you look at Kenya, Tanzania was a bit German, but Zimbabwe as well.
Yeah.
They like to live amongst themselves, which is really weird to me. There's so much Africans have to offer. That's how I learnt the language so quickly. I like to mix with people. Yeah. But in terms of the French colonial policy in West Africa, for example, the French seem to want to turn the Africans into French subjects, into French citizens, so they would teach the language. West Africans speak French much better than East Africans speak English, the food, the culture. But when it comes to the Spanish colonial policy, I believe if you go to South America and see it, they just went there for the women. They went there to have babies. They went there for the sex. Yeah. That's why they're the most beautiful people on earth. That's all the South and Central Americans, because it's years and years and years and years of mixing races. That's where you get the most beautiful children. Yeah. That's just an observation I saw when I was in South America, which have the most beautiful women in the world, like Colombia. You think to yourself, you go there and then you're just amazed by these beautiful women just walking around. Not in a bad way. You just like in an art gallery. It's not that you want to sleep with these people. The Spanish obviously did. But you just want to clean your eyes. Safisha macho, yeah. You see that I lost my passport there. I put a lot of content out saying, I'm stuck here in Colombia. I've lost my passport. There's some emergency meeting. I just wanted to stay there.
You always travel alone.
From what I've seen, why do you leave Mama Jessica at home? And has that affected your relationship?
No, it's improved our relationship. I believe men are hunters. Or throughout our history, men have been going off hunting, women staying at camp. That's not always 100% true. It's a generalization.
Yeah.
But I believe men should have men time or solo time. Some men like to hunt together. I've always been a solo hunter, solo traveler. I like to be on my own, and actually she likes it as well. It's something that we've worked very well together. And also she's on a different path to me. She's a Tanzanian woman. She wants to save money and build a house in Tanzania, and so I'm traveling. She wouldn't want to travel with me. She wants to earn money to build a house that when I lose all my money I can go and live in. That's the plan.
Talking about money, how do you make money right now on social media? Because you have a very large following. How do you monetize it?
Right, I have 1.8 million followers in all platforms together, and on the views I make about $40 a month. I mean, literally nothing. I do get brand sponsorship.
Yeah.
Especially, for example, hotels. I hardly ever pay for hotels because I go and make a video, and it's not like I make a video advert. No one watches adverts. I make content, even for the advert. For example, there's a hotel I was staying at in Moshi, and I went to them and said, look, I'd like to stay here for a week. It's not going to be an advert that no one's going to watch. I will go to the village and bring my in-laws down to this 5-star hotel and bring all the children to swim in the pool and make a video, and that video is a very successful video. You don't realize it's an advert. Because actually it was just a day out, taking the in-laws out to a nice hotel, but at the end of it you realize there's a very nice hotel in Moshi called the Marry Daddy Hotel. There you go, there's an advert for you. So I get free hotels. Equally, as a tourism ambassador, I get to go into game parks for free. I've just gone to Lake Nature on Old Donyo Lengai for free. All the camps are free. In Tanzania Safari Channel, they even paid me 1 million shillings per day, which is $300 a day. That is actually my fee. My fee is 1 million shillings a day, or $300 a day. However, I don't always charge people. I hardly ever charge. I haven't charged you. If we didn't have a relationship, and you called me for a podcast, I'd say my fee is $300 a day, and then you would never call me again. That would be the end of that. I hardly ever get paid.
You work with Asas Milk.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen you promoting it. I've also seen you promoting Nala.
Nala, yeah. Promoted Nala today.
Yes. So how